Hi guys, my name is Wade. I'm a grateful believer who is an addict. I'd like to talk to you guys today about unity, about community. Um, Step 12 in our program, the 12 steps, states that having had a spiritual experience as a result of these steps, we try to practice these principles in all our affairs and to carry the message to others. Um, that's really important, right? In fact, I believe personally that it's the most important step because had it not been for someone else's 12 step, I wouldn't be here. Um, our traditions kind of sometimes get lost along with, in the loudness and the noise of the steps, and the focus is generally on the steps, but each step has a tradition behind it, and the tradition or the principle in CA language behind this is unity, right? So step 12 really talks about community, right? How we build our community, how we continue to maintain that community, how we serve our community. It is vital, right? How we carry the message to others, how we represent ourselves in our daily lives, in our social media, in our interactions with others. Uh, it reflects on the message that we're trying to carry, right? Uh, the founders of AA, Bill Wilson and Dr. Bob, they put this principle, this tradition, as the first principle, the tradition in the supplement to the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, the 12 and 12, 12 traditions, 12 principles. And this tradition, it states that our common welfare should come first. Personal recovery depends upon AA unity. You can substitute CR unity or Al-Anon unity, whatever 12-step program you currently belong to, right? What they say is the unity of Alcoholics Anonymous is the most cherished quality our society has. Our lives, the lives of all to come, depend squarely on it. We stay whole or AA dies. Without unity, the heart of AA would cease to beat. Our world arteries would no longer carry the life-giving grace of God. His gift to us would be spent aimlessly. Back again in their caves, alcoholics would reproach us and say, what a great thing AA might have been. I don't know about you, but that scares me. CR, AA, whatever 12-step fellowship you belong to, has the tremendous privilege of being a recognizable face in this fallen world of Christ's love. Even if some people in the secular rooms of recovery don't perhaps start out seeing that. It's been my experience that through the unity and through the community of believers and the community of fellow AAs or NAs or HAs or whatever the other 12-step fellowship is, they get to witness firsthand what it's like to experience God, perhaps for the first time. And through the course of that experience, in the course of being able to be in those rooms and be accepted maybe for the first time in their life, they begin to start a spiritual journey that more often than not, in my experience, leads them to a loving God, the creator that is represented by the Son, Jesus Christ. And it's an amazing thing. We don't have that a lot in today's world. And community is vital. It's lifeblood to it. Today we live in some kind of crazy times. There's a lot of really crazy stuff going on, and in Chad's message this weekend, he even said like his biggest concern for our church right now is unity. And I got to admit, I see it myself on my social media. I see brothers and sisters arguing and fighting, and I see people worried about, can I do this or can I not do this, or is this being taken away from me, or is this not being taken away? Am I serving someone? Am I not serving someone? It gets really confusing, right? And I don't pretend to know the answers. I'm not here to judge anyone, or I'm not here to say you're doing something wrong, or you can't have your personal beliefs. But in the rooms of recovery, which is what we're talking about today, right? We have to recognize that community and then unity is our lifeblood. we're told in the rooms that that there is no have tos. There's just merely suggestions, and one of the suggestions is that we come together and we make a determination for the good of the whole. Because I don't know about you, but a lot of my life I spent as a selfish, self-centered person struggling with addiction and alcoholism, and I never really thought that much about others. But the rooms of recovery have taught me to be more Christ-like, right? To put others first, to put my comfort on the back end, right? To make sure someone else feels welcome and loved, because that was so freely given and done for me. Without newcomers, our program dies. Without a community, we lose a valuable resource to be able to share the gospel, the good news of Christ. And nothing can erode that community faster than divisiveness and selfishness and self-centeredness and all the things that come back when we're not working our program, right? When we're not practicing these principles in all our affairs, as the 12-step states. That unity, I would argue, is the glue, is what holds everything together. And when we start eroding that, whether it's in the 12-step rooms or whether it's in our families or whether it's at our job or whether it's even in our larger church body, we begin to erode that glue, of what holds our fabric together, as far as unity goes. And that's dangerous for me, because without this program, without other believers and other people that struggle with the same issues that I do, without that community, I'm alone again. And for me, being alone is not healthy. During this time, we've had to isolate and we've had to quarantine and we've had to limit our lifestyles. And I already am getting enough of that in my life that I can't bring it into my rooms of recovery. I need this, right? And so there's a question that I ask myself, right? I ask myself before I post something. I ask myself, before I maybe respond to someone, and I ask, is this going to bring unity or is this going to be divisive, right? And for me personally, that's all I can talk about is me. I found that a lot of things that I maybe had to pause on and hesitate were going to be divisive. Now, they might have been perfectly okay, and they might have been, my opinion, and they might have been, I'm entitled to that opinion. But at the end of the day, they're not going to bring healing and love to someone that maybe needs to hear my message. And so I have decided to, limit that.